Hey guys, how you doing? This is Juan with Liberty Graphic Designs. Today we're going to learn about somewhat proper tensioning test, okay? Not tensioning, but the actual test itself. So don't go anywhere. Today we're going to learn about the tensioning test. In my opinion, the proper way to actually test the tension on your embroidery machine. Again, this is my opinion. Another thing we're gonna do today is we're gonna show the importance of tracing your jobs every time, every single time. So let me mount this real quick, so you guys know, or you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna be using these magnetic hoops, and I'm using a scrap piece of material. When you're doing your test on your tensioning, try to use something that is very close to the fabric that you're gonna be working with. So we're working with mighty hoops. These are magnetic hoops, so very simple to use, very easy. And here I actually digitized a test for the job that we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna be working with this 6-head Tajima embroidery machine, but this right here, this tension test goes for any and every machine, okay? So this is not specific to a certain machine. This is actually to every single machine. Every video that I notice people doing a tension test, they always show you this rectangle, kind of like that. And then the machine is gonna sew it going across like so. They will also do an edge, right? They use that as a tensioning test. So if we do the machine is gonna go like that, sew that, and then it's gonna go over here, and then it's gonna embroider like that. However, every time that you embroider something, you're not embroidering squares, rectangles, H's, or eyes, you know, like an eye, you know, like a single square or a rectangle. We're not sewing or embroidering that. Every time we embroider something, let's say for example a C, it's gonna go like this, and then it's gonna get big, and then it's gonna get very small at the ends. That's not the greatest C, but you get the point. The stitches on the end are very small, and right here on the center, they're larger than it is in the small. Well, if you do your tension test in a rectangle, your stitches are always the same length. However, here in every embroidery job that we do, they're not the same. So in my opinion, instead of doing this rectangle as a tension test, you should do a triangle, kind of like that, a very long triangle, or upside down triangle, kind of like that, right? So your tension will be from large to small, because believe it or not, it takes more stitches to cover this wide angle right here than it does to cover the tip of that triangle. That way you can set your tension the best way possible. And that's what we're gonna do. I never do a rectangle, I never do an H, I never do an I, I never do stuff like that. This is not an I, this is more like a rectangle as well, right? So it will be an I like that. I never do that, because again, our machine is usually going from larger to smaller or vice versa. That's exactly what we're gonna do now. Okay, so we're gonna run this first test, and I'm not gonna change the tension on any of them. I'm gonna leave it the way it is, because I want you to see what it's gonna look like once it's done. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the machine right here because I want you to notice something. I don't know if you paid attention, but if you notice at the beginning of the test, the machine went by really fast until about this point right here started slowing down. When it got to the end of it, it was going very slow because now the stitches are very wide and it needs to put more stitches. So it went slower. And now that I pointed that out, you will see that on the next color. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed that the speed changed from right here to about right here. It was going very fast, and then it'll slow down because now it's got a wider angle to cover. That's what I was talking about. There's actually, if we were to count the stitches, there should have been less stitches here than it is up here. Let's continue on. There's 2 more to go. Okay, so our test is complete. Now let me show you what the sewing is supposed to look like. So let's say, for example, it doesn't matter if you did a test with the square, with a rectangle, or a triangle in this case. So what you need to see is if you divide that in quarters, you know, divide it in half and then another half, that will be the bottom of it, right? The bottom of the sewing. So this section right here, the center, you should see nothing but bobbin thread. This one right here, you should see the same as top. So this right here will have to be whatever color you embroider on the top, that's what you're gonna see, just like that. That's when you know you got proper tensioning. If this one is way over here, or if it's covered completely across, then you need to loosen the top thread until you get this perfect simulation right here, until you get a quarter on each side and then half in the center without, or this half right here will be nothing but bobbin thread, whatever color you're using on the bobbin. The most common one is white. So now the reason why I explained that is because I'm gonna flip this over and you're gonna see what color, what the combination of the 2 colors are gonna be. On this one, if you notice, I changed it to orange because it was doing white and we already have white here. So it was no sense in putting the same color. So now let's flip this over and see what it did. If you go back to my chart right here, the one that I did about, so a quarter, 50%, and then a quarter, and this quarter will make 50%, and that will be the 100, right? So if we look at the first one, the center of it is less than a half. So that means that this one right here is too tight. That one is too tight on the top, on the bobbin. This one means that the bobbin is too tight, or vice versa. The bobbin is too loose. So this one will be too loose, right? And that's why the top one is pulling more than the other one. Now, if we look at the green one, it's very close to being perfect. So this one, I will say that's good. We go to the red, and the red is almost as bad as the orange. So on this one right here, we will loosen the top. Red one, I already wrote something there, but on the red one, we will actually tighten up the top. So this one will be too loose on top. And the white one, you can't see it, you can't hardly see it, but it's the same as the red. So that's how you know how to do your proper tensioning. Now, if we go, remember the green one, I gave it an okay. So this will be okay, right? Or a check mark. If you notice on the green one, the white, you can see it all the way to about right here. The next one, you're not going to see it because it's very small. But this one, that's why I said it's okay. If we go back to the red one, the white one comes out to about right there. And on the white one, it's almost impossible for me to see it. I can't see that. But the orange one, the orange is right here. So that's how you know you need to adjust one or the other. So that's how you will, this is how you will fix your tensioning. Again, if you see the green one, it keeps on going all the way to about right there. So that gives you a better reading than if I was to create this, just a rectangle like that, and I see that my thread was doing what it will look like a perfect tensioning. It will be something like this, and you know that is not correct, because see, look right here, we don't see any white whatsoever. Right here, there's no white. But if you look at the green we can still see white. So this one right here will be better. And that's what you want to see. That's the reason why I don't do rectangles, squares, or H's, because any machine can do a square, any machine can do a rectangle, but not every machine can get perfect tensioning when it comes to triangles or whatever you call this, okay? So that's the reason why. Make sure that you're doing something like this and not your typical H's or your typical I's or your typical rectangles. Get rid of that. Do this right here. This is more accurate than the other one. So this is it for this video, guys. I hope it was very informational for you. If you guys liked it, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ding the bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. So thank you guys. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate you watching my channel and watching my videos. Thank you guys. I appreciate that a lot. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Adios. God bless you. See ya.